Hello and welcome to this presentation on corruption in Kenya. My name is Douglas Kivoi. This presentation is made courtesy of the Swiss School of Public Governance. So come with me and let me take you through this issue of corruption in Kenya. The goal of this presentation is to inform participants on the various ways corruption manifests itself in Kenya, its causes, effects, and possible remedies to this challenge that has been around for quite a while, actually since Kenya gained independence in 1963. What are the working questions? One, how is corruption conceptualized in Kenya? The second question is, what are the causes of corruption? The third question is, what are the effects of corruption? Then the last question is, what are the possible remedies to this challenge posed by corruption? Background: why corruption? We know that the corruption is a worldwide phenomenon, but in Kenya it's a major barrier to economic and social development. It also appears that corruption has been institutionalized in state institutions like the National Police Service, and it also affects integrity of leaders. How is corruption manifested in Kenya? Firstly, is through favoritism, and favoritism, it takes two forms: tribalism and nepotism. Then secondly is through bribery, giving of bribes. Then thirdly, electoral fraud, which is the worst form of corruption in Kenya. Looting of public offices, as can be seen in this image, is also a form of corruption in Kenya. Government officers siphoning taxpayers' money. And then there is also abuse of office, and then also extortion by security officers who appear to arrest people and take them to court on trumped up charges. As you can see in that image there, school children are protesting because their land has been grabbed by a private developer and they want their playground back. So land grabbing is a way, or it's one of the ways in which corruption manifests itself in Kenya, and they normally target public and also private land. Construction of substandard buildings and roads is also one of the ways in which corruption manifests itself. Then there's fraud, both in the private sector and in public offices. Then there is theft and forgery, theft of intellectual property rights. And then you also have got poaching and environmental degradation. Why is corruption difficult to solve in Kenya? One is because of continued political impunity in this country since independence. Then we've got also the weak institutions of governance. Then also poor governance. And then we have got inefficient public sector coupled with ethnic chauvinism. Political patronage is also one of the reasons why corruption is difficult to eradicate in Kenya. Then we have got also a weak and compromised media and also a weak civil society. The two of them are one of the reasons why corruption also is pervasive in the Kenyan society. What are the effects of corruption? Increase in poverty levels because of unemployment, because public funds are being diverted into private pockets, collapse of institutions that serve communities, and in essence, collapse of economies that would affect the livelihood of citizens. Quality of leadership is also undermined by corruption. We have got insecurity because the security sector is riddled in corruption. Then we have got impunity and lawlessness, which in essence culminates to poor governance and also affects education standards of the country. As you can see in that image there, a police officer is kicking a protester who is on the ground, helpless, and is not even armed. So we are saying that corruption results in human rights violation. You are arrested, you are brutalized by the police, and they know that they can't get anywhere because the system is corrupt and rotten. Poor infrastructure. In that image, there is a public housing unit that has collapsed due to poor workmanship And the problem happened because the officers who are supposed to supervise and ensure that the quality work is done were compromised, resulting into that calamity. Poor public service delivery is also one of the effects of corruption. Then you have got high unemployment rates. And then, as you can see in that image there, miscarriage of justice. A corrupt person who stole 10 billion shillings is being released, whereas a thief who stole the mere chicken has been sentenced to 7 years. Miscarriage of justice. Then social unrest. Social unrest is one of the effects of corruption. People demonstrating because they cannot get service delivery, because they cannot get what they are paying for. Then also negative international image affecting sectors like tourism and travel advisories also follow. So what assets can Kenya build on? One, anti-corruption efforts. Then you have also restriction of power offices. That is a separation of duties. Then you have got the constitution enforcing. Then structural reforms. So the constitution of Kenya is progressive. Is a progressive constitution that can be enforced and implemented. Power of citizens and public support. It can help build an ethical environment that will undermine corruption. What can Kenya also build on? Support from the international community and development partners like the European Union, World Bank, and the IMF. Also strengthening institutions of governance, whistleblowing, and also enhancing political accountability. As you can see in that image, school children are saying no to corruption. I want to acknowledge the contribution of the following, because I've used photos and images in this work courtesy of Joshua Nanjero, Readers Media, Standard Newspapers, Nation Newspapers, and Transparency International. Thank you for listening. God bless you.